I think as my playtime developed, in other words, the reward I gave myself at the end of a practice session when it was time to make sounds sometimes that were in reality, it was just the idea of the more that I practice something or the more I tried to do something, the better that you get at it. So it was a variation of experimentation and trying things and noticing, for example, on a piston valve instrument, that you don't actually have to push all the valves all the way down. You can just do one or two of them. And I didn't know that at the beginning. I thought you had to sort of move the valves with the way the sound was rather than... And my technique is so much better now than it used to be because I know how to blow through those sounds. And I've been trying to do these things for forever, like trying to make people laugh at recording sessions or in the cuts in between or something at a concert, or if I'm playing a cadenza or improvising something where I'm trying to draw from something that maybe has happened. I've played a number of concerts, for example, where I'm playing at a concert hall and a kid lets loose in the back of the hall with some sort of rah, you know, which is a great way to relieve everybody going like, oh my gosh, what's happening in the concert? But it's also just the idea of having lived more different examples of sound in life and trying to make them happen. It's really a matter of that, of trying to try things. Let yourself experiment. Like it's play your instrument. My favorite thing when I'm on a plane and somebody goes, hey, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, oh, I'm a musician. And they're like, oh, what instrument do you play? And first of all, I love that they use that verb. And I always stop and I go, well, what do you do for a living? And everybody says pretty much the same thing. They work in a place, like I work in a hospital, or they work in a field. Like, I don't mean like crops. I mean like, I work in the specialty of accounting. I work in law enforcement. So they work in a field or they work in a building of some sort. And musicians play. We don't work anywhere. We play. So I always delight in that verb exchange, but I try to put it into practice when I'm done creating more vocabulary, more sentences, and more words that I want to put together for my stories, is just to have a chance to improvise and say whatever I want to say, whatever I want to say it. And some pieces of inspiration are the sounds that you hear in the world, like the sound of a train, the sound of a siren, the sound of a kid crying. These are nice ways of bringing expression into your playing that maybe between one note and another in a piece of music that might have a weepy moment or a hilarious moment, where those moments of creativity that were separate come into the present. You want some truck going down the highway? Sirens that's super important, especially the Doppler effect, right? Like learning that it actually goes down as it goes by you. That's always a fun one. I like that one.